Bobby Huggins of the Mountaineers. Coach, how are you, man? What's happening?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing okay.
We are good, Coach. As we sit here and we look at the Big 12 and we look at your team in particular, because we're chatting with you right now, I'm trying to figure out who you guys actually are. You play really well sometimes when you don't turn the ball over, and I've heard you talk about this. You got to shoot well from the field. You had a couple of tough losses, but a very important win against Iowa State. Now you have Oklahoma, which some people will say is a trap game. But how are you evaluating yourself right now, especially, and as you heard BT say, probably the toughest conference in basketball right now?
Well, I think we're as good as anybody as long as we stay healthy. You can't lose three guards the way we lost 3 guards, and I don't care who you are or what level you're playing. It's hard. It's hard to play as well and to win, in particular the way we play, because we need 10, 11 guys every game that come in and give us minutes, and when those guys are sitting there in civilian clothes, it doesn't help anything.
Coach, I want to take it back as I was introducing you how, I used the word turbulent. I've used the word volatile in the past here. It's been a wacky season. I mean, all around, all the conferences, for the most part, flipped upside down. Jay Wright's team lost last night, number 1, to a very good Xavier team who was inside the top 5. I know that obviously as you get ready for a season, first and foremost, you care about your own team. But as you kind of surveyed the country from a distance heading into the season, did you think it would be this unpredictable?
Well, first of all, I was elated because when I heard those adjectives, I thought you were talking about me.
No, not
I
at all,
was
Coach.
glad you were talking about college basketball in general. No, I just think there's a lot of parity. I think there's a lot of parity this year. I think there's, whoever gets hot at the right time, whoever gets the right draw. A lot of the NCAA tournament is playing against people who have a difficult time dealing with whatever style of play that you play. And, I think if you look, there's probably, I would think a good 10 or 12 teams that are capable. Doesn't mean they will, but they're capable of making a deep run.
Oh, am I going to challenge Huggy Bear? I don't know if I'm down with that. I don't see 10 teams winning the championship, Bobby. Come on.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Well, I can tell you what, there's 3 or 4 in our league alone.
I didn't say there's not 3 or 4.
Yeah, they might all come from your league.
There's 3 or 4 in our league alone, and I think if you look around in whatever league, the ACC, the Big Ten, certainly there's a few in the Pac-10. There's 10.
Bobby Huggins with
you
us
just
here.
haven't looked close enough. You just got to look a little closer.
Maybe I'm going to have to take that under advisement when the coach speaks. Who am I not to listen? Come on, he's won 21 games already. Bobby Huggins, West Virginia, Tiki and Tierney.
Coach, when I watch your team play, you guys play with such an energy and an aggressiveness. But then I listen to you and know your demeanor. It just seems at odds. How do you get those guys, your guys, to play with such energy when that's not kind of what you would?
Well, he just yells during the game.
Yeah, I know that, but you know what I mean. It's like you usually take on the personality of your coach, but it seems like you're a laid back, chill. I'm just going to tell you in a very calm voice that when you're in trouble, you're in trouble type of way. How are you getting that out of your kids?
Well, we practice that for one, and secondly, I don't let them vote on it. I think, when they kicked it off, you were probably a little different person than what you are sitting behind that mic. And,
yeah.
And for some reason, when that ball goes up, I turn into a different person as well. And they know that.
Coach, you know what I wanted to ask you? And we played a soundbite last night from Sean Miller's team. Obviously, big win for Colorado. They lost. And Sean went into an area that I think is pretty important in terms of safety, not just for the players but the fans. Do you have a position? Has it ever come up at a post-game press conference or an actual experience when the players, the fans, storm the court? And the symbolism is great, and we all know what it represents, and it's so good for the school. But it's also getting a little dangerous. Do you think that they should implement a rule that doesn't allow fans to do that? Where do you stand on that, Bobby?
Well, our people have done it, and I'm definitely not for it. I think you act like you won before. I think the storming the court thing has been played up so much on ESPN and Fox and all the sports channels that people think it's the thing to do, when in fact it's the Kansas State-Kansas deal a year ago was not a good deal.